Space travel and space exploration had been a dream before their breakthrough on October 4th, 1957. Since then, it's only gotten better. Governments have continued to invest their resources in developing better technological tools to make space travel better and even surpass their limits. The United States of America is a big-time player in this, with NASA having continual developments to make space travel bigger and better. At the time of this video, there has been a recorded 584 people who've flown to space since the first space travel. Engineers have worked on statistical data with each space exploration to maximize the next travels. One of the developments that have gone on over the years is the development of better spacesuits for astronauts. Spacesuits have changed over the years, from the initial Mercury suits worn in the first space travel and other travels from 1961 to 1963, to the Space Shuttle flight suit worn between 1988 and 2011. Recently, SpaceX became part of history as it launched its spacesuits worn for the Demo 2 test mission to space. SpaceX has created a new spacesuit that has blown everyone away. It's unlike anything NASA has ever created. The SpaceX spacesuit features advanced technology and a superior design theme designed to make fun of and embarrass NASA spacesuits. The government agency doesn't want to admit that the private company's design humiliated it. Before diving into the details of SpaceX's spacesuit, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I give insights and details on the recent updates in the tech space. If this is your first time viewing my content, kindly subscribe and ring that bell so you can get instant notifications for my recent videos. With that done, let's get into the details of today's content. Before now, spacesuits had only one function: to keep astronauts alive during a disaster, including a fire, sudden depressurization, or an unexpected calamity. However, with the opening up of space for tourism as well as scientific research, the design of spacesuits is starting to change. Spacesuits are like miniature spaceships. They're not just clothes astronauts wear in space, or even fashion items that astronauts don to show they are special. They are instead more of a protective clothing. The spacesuit consists of many parts, all designed to protect its wearer. For example, the helmet protects the head, while one part of the suit protects the legs and feet. Another part of the spacesuit protects the chest and arms. Each spacesuit is made up of a variety of layers that each serve a specific purpose. For example, the suit has layers designed to keep oxygen inside and protect it from space dust. Before the spacesuit is worn, the astronauts are instructed to wear a piece of clothing that covers every part of their body, except their hands, feet, and head. The astronauts wear this clothing because of the tubes woven into it. These tubes allow water to flow around the garment, thus keeping the astronauts cool. Spacesuits also have backpacks attached to them. The backpack is used to store oxygen. The backpack also handles the carbon dioxide that the astronaut releases. The suit is powered by electricity. Power generation is important for transporting oxygen around the suit with the help of a fan and a water tank. As you've probably seen in the movies, spacesuits have a device called SAFER. This device consists of small thrusters that propel the astronaut and allows them to move around in the airless space of orbit. If an astronaut drifts away from the station, the astronaut can use the SAFER to drift back towards the space station. A spacesuit serves many purposes for astronauts. First of all, it keeps the astronaut from getting too hot or too cold. It also enables them to breathe while working in an airless void. Space dust may sound harmless, but they are more dangerous than a bullet as they move faster. The spacesuits are designed to keep astronauts from space dust. Astronauts may even wear gold-lined visors which protect their eyes from harsh sunlight. Since SpaceX began designing its suits several years ago, Elon Musk has focused heavily on its appearance. His interest in the appearance of spacesuits was more established when the New York Times reported that Musk enlisted Jose Fernandez to design a prototype. Jose Fernandez was a costume designer for superhero films such as Batman vs Superman, Fantastic Four, The Avengers, and X-Men 2, among others. According to Fernandez, Musk wanted the suit to be distinctive. He said, and I quote, "When people put this spacesuit on, he wants them to look better than they did without it, like a tux. You look heroic in it. It's an iconic thing to be a part of." Elon Musk explained his concept behind SpaceX's spacesuits, saying, "You see the spacesuits in the movies. They look good. They don't work well. You can make a spacesuit that works, but it doesn't look good because fundamentally it's a pressure suit that has to survive in a vacuum." According to him, He planned on creating a spacesuit that encourages kids to become astronauts and don the uniform themselves to get them fired up. He was quoted saying, "Everyone should be excited that this is a thing made by humans for humans." It has been reported that the suits were produced in Hawthorne, California, in the same building where SpaceX makes its rockets. Each suit is custom tailored for each crew member. In addition, they're designed to be manufactured in one piece with specialized parts. NASA's response to this development was surprisingly cool. You can bet they also could not overlook the spacesuit's improvements and quality. The agency is quoted in a press release saying, "A single connection point on the suit's thigh attaches life support systems including air and power connections. The helmet is custom manufactured using 3D printed technology. It includes integrated valves, visor retraction and locking mechanisms, and microphones within the helmet structure." SpaceX's Dragon 2 spacecraft uses a touchscreen control panel, so the new spacesuits were built with gloves that were touchscreen compatible. These suits differ from those astronauts wear outside the space station, where they use NASA's Extravehicular Mobility Units, EMUs. They're designed to last 8 to 10 hours in a vacuum, protecting astronauts from radiation and working for 8 to 10 hours. The SpaceX spacesuits have already been tested twice before. The first test was when SpaceX launched a dummy at the wheel of a Tesla into space in 2018 using its Falcon Heavy rocket. The second test was in 2019 when Crew Dragon flew uncrewed Demo 1 tests with a dummy named Ripley. However, on May 30th, 2020, SpaceX launched its first human test of the new spacesuits. As the first humans to wear the spacesuits in space, Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken took off from Florida in a mission that saw their launch become the first human spaceflight from the region since the shuttle program ended in 2011. For their rocket ride to orbit, Behnken and Hurley donned all-white SpaceX suits instead of the old-fashioned pumpkin suits they wore for space shuttle missions. During the space test, Hurley spoke aboard the space station on June 1st, 2020, saying, "I bet you, we've donned and put off these suits a couple of hundred times." The SpaceX spacesuits were tailored to their body size, so they fit perfectly. They had even used it while training for their Demo 2 mission. According to Hurley, since the spacesuits were fitted to the astronauts' bodies, they were actually much easier to get in and out of in zero-G. There is a sharp contrast to the pumpkin spacesuits that were used for space travel. SpaceX's spacesuits are Advanced Crew Escape Suits, or ACEs, which means they're not designed to be used for spacewalks but as backups during launches and landings. They are low-pressure suits which are designed to keep the astronauts alive in the event where pressurization is lost. The SpaceX suit is not an EVA compared to NASA's Pumpkin. When discussing the SpaceX suits, Behnken said, "We'd have to give the suits a 5-star rating." He noted that one of the main uses of the SpaceX suits would be to protect the astronauts in case of fire or depressurization aboard SpaceX's Crew Dragon spaceship. But he added, "These suits didn't have to do that job for us, which was nice, but it was clear that they were red." The spacesuits had umbilicals that carried cool air and oxygen from the spacecraft. At the same time, the gloves interacted with spacecraft's touchscreens. Chris Trigg, SpaceX's spacesuits and crew equipment manager, in a video posted on the company's Twitter account on May 27th said, "One of the things that was important in the development of the suit was to make it easy to use. Something that the crew just literally had to plug in when they sit down, and the suit takes care of things from there." NASA is probably still embarrassed by SpaceX's spectacular suit, so it has decided to contract Axiom Space and Collins Aerospace instead of SpaceX for the design and development of its spacesuits. Collins Aerospace has a long history with NASA, having manufactured the first spacesuit designed for astronauts to walk on the moon, and the spacesuit used by NASA astronauts when operating outside of the International Space Station. What do you think of SpaceX's spacesuit? Let me know in the comments section. With that, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and gained valuable information. Let us know your feedback, thoughts, and questions in the comments section. Also, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to subscribe, put on the notification bell below, and share this video.